Right.
If I pray in an unknown tongue,
This is a quick
my
one.
spirit prays. Which part of you pray? My spirit prays. So they think that that's the part that got charged. No, it's just telling you which part of you is praying when you pray in tongues. When you pray in English, your mind, you must know the words, right? Your mind is praying. When you pray in tongues, which part of you is praying? Your spirit is praying. Are you listening? Your spirit is praying. It doesn't say your spirit is the one that gets edified, but your spirit is praying. So now, which part of you gets edified? Back to verse 4.
Look at this. This is the replacement one.
And because the word edify, by kodomio means building, constructing, or repairing a house or building. Which part of your person is the temple?
What's
your
up
body?
with it?
That means you're praying.
So now,
you are preparing,
this is
building,
what we have, and let me try to zoom in so that you see what I mean. Now if you look right there, you can see that that pot is charred around there. So I wanted to attempt to change the pot itself, but I didn't get the pot, so I opted for the whole board because it was available, and you can notice the difference. Of course, this is a replacement part, and of course that's where your mouthpiece connects, and your earphone jack, and then the network connections. So anyway, right now we are going to simply plug it in and then see if we are able to charge. Okay, now this slips in right there, and before that we have that connector that comes from the main board, plugs in right there, and this there, and that is the fingerprint reader, slips in there. Now I'm going to have to bring my USB cable. I'm only hoping that the battery already had some sort of power in it, that I don't need to jump start. Okay, so we plug in the charger, and I hope the voltage at the battery is not very low. Okay, anyway, let me just get a multimeter and we confirm that and see if we need to first jump start.
So let's go to the quotation in the Old Testament.
Start the battery.
Isaiah 28. For with stammering lips and another tongue will God speak to these people. I don't feel like your tongue sometimes is like stammering lips. Pastor, my tongue is not like Pastor Lawrence's tongue, so smooth, so fluent.
Perhaps
hey,
you find
you get first priority, stammering lips.
Hope you get to learn a thing.
Pastor Lawrence and Pastor Mark one is another tongue.
Anyway,
my multimeter is there ready in voltage mode, and then I need to disconnect the battery.
Now watch this. Now there's an additional benefit.
Disconnect the battery, and then take measurements from it. Okay, so in the case of the last two poles, so we are at 3.1.
that is not enough for the charging level to read. So now I'm going to need to
God is offering you R&R, rest and refreshing. Guys, you know, right? After your term and exercise in the field and all that.
Yep. Take this moment.
You have an R&R days, right? Rest and refreshing. Literally, rest and recreation. It's God's rest and refreshing.
I'm going to get this USB that's terminated from this side, and with it, I'm hopefully going to wake up the battery.
It helps you to remember the Manuka. Alright, same pronunciation, Manuka.
Okay, let me just pull off some more, expose more wire to allow me operate with ease. So here the black is the negative, and then the red is the positive. Okay, now this is what how I'm going to use it. I'm going to allow it to also pass through the multimeter such that I'm able to tell what voltage is being supplied and what is being consumed. So squeeze that. It seems like that's not going to agree with me. Let me just get it wrapped around here.
If you read Daniel, it says that the spirit of Antichrist in the last days will weary the saints
and
of the
then
Most High. Weary the saints. They will wear out the saints of the Most High. The devil, one of the things the devil does,
next is the
he
positive
just wears you out.
terminal.
He wears you out. You read things in social media, it wears you out. You hear bad news, it wears you out. When they call evil good and good evil, it
then
wears
plug
you out.
that
So the saints of the
in
end time
there.
will worn out.
Now this end is going into my USB charger, and let me plug it in and see if it is giving us in a voltage reading.
And when grace was first mentioned, it says Noah found grace.
So
Rest finds grace
yeah,
in the eyes of the Lord.
the USB is a bit coiled and seems to want to go with my multimeter. Anyway, now I have to first confirm which of these two is the positive terminal, because on my probe the red is the positive and the black is the negative. So let me first disconnect this from power and take the reading of the battery. If I get a positive value, I know that's the right orientation. So this is a negative value. That means I'll have to reverse to find out the positive and negative. So I've reversed and that's a positive value. So this is the positive terminal. I can now plug back my USB power supply. And let me just support this so that I can access this part well. I don't know. Hope you're able to see. But anyway, now look at the multimeter. It should drop to average with that of the battery. Okay, you see that value is in between the battery's voltage, which was down, and the charger's voltage, which was high. So I normally do 10 minutes, or if the average reaches 4. But right now it is 3:49 p.m. Let's see if at 3:55, that's 6 minutes from now, we will have gained some power. I am bending over, but let me try to sit. Anyway, I'm kind of glad that you guys are here, and feel free to always come back. And if you have any suggestions, please do put them in the comment section below, because that is really a good thing to do, I think. Of course I would like that, but keep coming back, keep watching. And I do not know, I was thinking of doing reviews lately. I wonder what you guys think about. I noticed that there's a review I did about my Sony Xperia 5 II video camera. Okay, I didn't use the default or the ones that come from Sony. I decided to pair the hardware with the Pro X app to allow me control the ISO and exposure and all that in real time as I record the video. And you guys saw the results. You'll probably let me know if it is okay. And that was 1080p at 30 frames per second. I do not know whether I should try 4K. The only problem is I do not have enough storage to handle such capabilities. But anyway, all said is that I'm committed to delivering some good content, and I hope the content does work for you. I've tried to talk my way for the 6 minutes to elapse, but I see 4 minutes still do exist. So allow me let you listen to the sermon in the background as I keep quiet.
In fact, some of the stories I shared my past messages down through the years, but I like to read the latest. Now, this is the 7th edition of this periodical that was released, all right, called Brain Facts. It's released by the Society for Neuroscience, all right, a study of the brain and the nervous system. So this is the 7th edition because they have new discoveries. You know that scientists are still studying the brain? You know that? What they should do is study Pastor Mark's brain. That'll be really exciting. All right, from Brain Facts. This is what they say. What do standing frustrated in a supermarket checkout line, or sitting in a traffic jam have in common with fleeing predators, as was done in the early days of human beings? So we all understand, right? I mean, queuing up for coming to church or queuing up at the supermarket and all that. What has this got to do with fight or flight response? Right? Clearly, these activities are very different, yet they provoke the same responses in the body. The release of hormones, and these hormones are glucocorticoids and epinephrine, two chemical secretions, right? Two hormones released by your adrenal to improve memory, boost immune function, enhance muscular activity,
so we
and
should
restore
sit in pews
physiological
more.
balance. Now, over long periods of time, for a while, it's okay. You know, you see a snake, right? And the snake has reared its ugly head at you. You don't say, oh, hi, how are you? I didn't mean to bump your way. All right, you run. Amen? The adrenal glands release your corticosteroids and all that, and your epinephrine to make you run. Amen? Amen? So your blood pressure rises, your heart rate increases, and you run. It's either fight or flight. But it's talking about over long periods of time. If everything in life, even driving down the road here in Singapore, if driving down the road in Dallas or anywhere that you are at, if everything frustrates you, if everything makes you anxious, my wife just reminded me the other day, if everything, especially on the road, if everything you're frustrated by, you're hostile about, then listen. Over long periods of time, as these hormones continue to be released, the consequences can be negative. Memory is impaired, immune function is suppressed, and energy is stored as fat. Overexposure to glucocorticoids leads to weakened muscles. Elevated glucocorticoids and epinephrine contribute to hypertension, high blood pressure, arteriosclerosis, hardening of the arteries, doing my best here, and abdominal obesity. Don't look down. Epinephrine also increases the release and activity of body chemicals that cause inflammation, adding to the body's chronic stress burden. This continual chemical activity can lead to arthritis and accelerated
Alright, so it's now 3:55 p.m. East
These
African Mean
findings have
Time,
been verified in
and
animal experiments.
our average voltage is reading 4.04,
an area of the brain important for learning,
and
memory, and
as
emotion.
such, I think
As a result,
we can now go on to
glucocorticoid
test our
secretion
charging
throughout their
capabilities.
lives.
But first, we will have
Overexposure
to
to
disconnect the
glucocorticoids
power
also
supply,
increases the number of
see
neurons
what
damaged
the
by
voltage of
stroke.
the battery reads.
Moreover,
So let me
prolonged
disconnect the power
exposure before or
source,
immediately after birth
and
causes a
that's
decrease
out.
in the normal number of
Then
brain
let's
neurons
get
and
to
smaller
see
brain size.
the terminal voltage
If you're
of the battery,
pregnant, if you're about to give birth,
3.63. So
don't
this is
be
good enough for it to be
What do you
read
do?
and charged.
Okay. What's
So
more,
that brings us to the
scientists
next
have
step,
identified a variety
which
of
is plugging the
stress-related
charger
disorders,
into power.
including high blood pressure, clogged arteries,
Right.
impotency,
Now
and loss of sex drive
I
in males,
plug,
irregular menstrual cycles in
first
females,
connect the battery
colitis, and adult onset diabetes.
right there.
Familiar
Flip the phone over, then
Stress also
connect
can
the
contribute
other
to
end of the
sleep loss
USB
when people
into
get caught in a vicious
power.
cycle, elevated
Do we get
glucocorticoids,
anything?
delaying the onset of sleep, and sleep deprivation, raising glucocorticoid levels. So this is from Brain Facts by the
Okay,
Society
I don't
on
get
Neuroscience.
anything.
Now, many of it,
We
of course,
disconnect
they will not
that.
deal with supernatural. They
That.
cannot. I'm telling you,
Then
the devil's means is always to stress you out. The
Okay.
devil is trying to wear you out.
Now.
He's trying. You cannot
I'll plug in
fight
this.
against supernatural forces with natural means.
Okay.
You can
So
offset or
change
put down for a
settings.
while the outward symptoms of stress.
Alright, let's just confirm something that this screen actually displays. So your power button is on the right, right?
You need supernatural means.
Okay, that
Now,
means
if
shares the
the
stamina
means
square.
to combat stress
Let me
and panic attacks and depression
power
and
on the phone
anxiety
and see.
must depend on you being on one location where there is running river and there's greeneries and there's a mountain and
get
all that.
anything.
Then you know what? What's going to happen when you come back to the real world? Some people, they have the luxury, they have the money, be able to spend time, to take time to go somewhere abroad and relax even then for a while.
So it powers on. At least we know the display works.
You know, it can be in a beautiful setting and you
Alright.
work inside.
So now
So it might be something
need
more portable. That you
check
can bring
why
this weapon, you can bring this gift
we
wherever you go. And you
don't
can operate with
seem
loud
to
sound,
get charger. So let me look for the charger.
So I have noticed that even when I plug in, it doesn't power on, but I needed to show you that actually the new subboard that holds the charging port that we got is fine, because now when you look at our multimeter, and here we have connected our USB to supply it power. Now on this end of this fiber that's plugging into the motherboard, we are able to get our 5 volts that come from the charger, which should enter the motherboard to go into the charging IC, power IC, but before through the voltage protection IC. Now that shows that the problem now that remains is with the motherboard, because when I plug this into the motherboard at the battery connector there where power should come to charge the battery, I'm supposed to find about 4.2 volts, but if you look carefully, after power has gone through the motherboard, I'm not getting that 4 point something volts which you need from here. I'm just getting 0 point something. So we are going to take up the motherboard and try to trace that and fix it. Alright, see you in the next video, and I'll give you an update hopefully. Alright, see you. But you're going to go with this because it's harder for me to keep this.